Early Celtic heritage of Davenport. The beginning of United States settlement in Iowa Territory followed the Black Hawk War of 1832. Scotsman General Winfield Scott led U.S. troops in this war with his headquarters located on Arsenal Island just outside of Fort Armstrong, east of the present Clock Tower building. Scott County is named for General Scott. Quad City Celts were present and active during the early days of Davenport. In 1833, a Dr. Spencer and a Scotsman, Mr. MacLeod, contended for a parcel of land that was to become the future city of Davenport. To settle the contention, Antoine Leclerc bought both of them out, paying $150 for the parcel. In 1835, a group of men met in George Davenport's home on Arsenal Island to form a company with the intent to purchase the land that Leclerc bought from Dr. Spencer and Mr. MacLeod and lay out a town site there. The men that met in the company they created consisted of Antoine Leclerc, George Davenport, Major Thomas Smith, Levi S. Colton, Philip Hambaugh, Captain James May, and Scotsman Major William Gordon and Alexander McGregor. Major Gordon, a United States surveyor and one of the company, surveyed and laid out the land in the spring of 1836. The land parcel surveyed and laid out included 36 blocks bounded by the Mississippi River on the south, Harrison Street on the east, 7th Street on the north, and Warren on the west, with 6 half blocks adjacent to Warren. Corner of Ripley and 3rd Streets. Born in Dundee, Scotland, James McIntosh travelled to Canada in 1817 and became a bookbinder. In 1835, he journeyed to Iowa, explored the state's unpeopled prairies, and became one of the founding fathers of Davenport. In October 1836, in a log house built by Antoine Leclerc, McIntosh opened a small store selling dry goods, groceries, hardware, and provisions to the Davenport populace. A leading businessman, McIntosh served on the first jury and paneled in the state of Iowa and reverted to his original trade of bookbinding to become Iowa's first official bookbinder. He was killed in the Civil War. The Leclerc House Hotel, built in 1839 at the northeast corner of 2nd and Main Streets for 20 years prior to the Civil War, was a northern resort spot for Southerners. Known for providing first-class dining and proximity to hunting, fishing, and boating, it continued to exist as a hotel until it was demolished in 1910. A Scots stonemason, Alexander Brownlee, was responsible for the stone edifice work on this building. Brownlee was born in Scotland in 1805. Between 1826 and 1838, he lived in Canada, where he farmed for a time and went to work on the Rideau Canal as a stonemason. He was part of the crew shaping the giant stones used in building the lower lock at Smith's Falls. He also worked on Ottawa's Parliament building. Brownlee left Canada for Iowa in 1838, settling in Long Grove. He died in 1889 in Brooklyn, Iowa, and is buried in Long Grove near his sod house that still stands. St. Anthony's Catholic Church was constructed in 1838 of the first bricks manufactured in the city on a block of ground designated as Church Square. Under the direction of Reverend Samuel Mazzucchelli and resident pastor Father Pillamorgs, this 2-story rectangular building served as more than a house of worship for the inhabitants of the area, many of whom were Irish and German immigrants. On October 4, 1838, the church was first used as a courtroom, and thereafter all debates, city council sessions, and community activities were held there. By 1850, due to a need for a larger space, the little brick building gave way to a new stone church. This edifice, completed late in 1853, continues to serve the people of Davenport. Hibernian Hall. The Ancient Order of Hibernians is an Irish Catholic fraternal society that originated in Ireland sometime between the 16th and the 18th century. In 1836, a group of new Irish immigrants in New York City formed the first chapter of the AOH in America. Like in Ireland, the AOH in America was formed primarily to protect and to promote the interests of Irish American Catholics and of the Catholic Church. The Devonport Irish organized an AOH chapter in March 1884 and constructed the Hibernian Hall as their meeting place in 1889. Until Devonport AOH and their Ladies' Auxiliary disbanded in 1937, their Hibernian Hall was considered one of the most beautiful and valuable AOH buildings in the state.